Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon, sir.
afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. So yesterday we did that lab, and I sent that PhD also. I hope you all have received it. So let's move ahead and start something. That just was kind of the similar thing. Okay, okay. So gray, we change, we add color, modify things, and create something. The same thing I'll show you here also, but this time I'll make it a little bit dirty, like a little bit, not exactly dirty, a little bit old, like weathering, like it's used, because we should know how to weather things and how to use that. So let's start with this, and I can see this. Okay. So first, this all this usually these kind of houses are wooden. So I can just pick some texture. So I can Google plank, uh, plank. So So I can find this like lots of wooden planks. You can see like these kind of houses usually have this kind of horizontal lines and horizontal wooden planks. So I can find something.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. Let's find something nice.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, tell me.
So there is a lot of disturbance in your voice.
There is a disturbance in my voice.
Yes, sir.
Uh, don't give me a second. I'll change my headphone. Maybe because of my headphone. Just give me.
So I was unable to hear, sir. Can you repeat it, sir?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Oh, maybe because of headphone. I just change it. So okay. So usually, like this kind of like a cottage kind of this kind of house, they are like made of wood, and they usually have the horizontal wooden planks throughout this. So, and I have seen like in movies or some like references I saw, these houses are usually white in color, like they usually paint white or some other tone for window frame and corner beam and all. So I'll be using white. They have seamless also. For this, I don't need a seamless thing. So anything will work for me. Only thing I need a decent size texture. Like always go for the like high resolution texture so that you can reduce the size and you can modify it very easily. That will be much easier. So this looks so this is have watermark though I can fix it, but it's extra work. So I'll try to use something without watermark. This is also have watermark. Everything with watermark. This also have watermark, but it's not that prominent. Okay, let's use this one. Just copied it. So before like doing this, I this black background because I will be changing the sky, right? It cannot be this black. So magic wand W shortcut. So I'll keep this black separate. So I'll select this black and select all this black. Control Shift I, invert selection. Control J. So my this background, black background is separated from my house. Now I'll just Control V, paste the copied blank. The scale. So, like whenever you have something like this in perspective and you have some texture which is perfectly straight, you can match the perspective very easily because you have a like this start point and end point. So what you can do, press Control, click on any of the point and left mouse button, drag it. It will automatically match, keep it straight, keep it straight. So you can see got this line, horizontal lines, and it can match with this perspective as well very easily. B is okay. This is undo. Control T, reduce the size. B, just duplicated that. Control P, merged because I want to like change the perspective for the entire thing together. So and in between I can see this one depth is missing. So what I'll do, I select any of this, not circle one, rectangular, any of the depth, select that, and then you can see there's a feather. So like either you define the feather like before selecting the area, or you select the area, then go to select modify feather. So you can do it like either before or after, both ways it works. So I want to feather, like feather means basically it blur out selection. So whenever I duplicate, it will blend here very easily. So I'll show you without feather. Control J, B. So you can see this, there's a line. Maybe it's not that prominent for you, but if you zoom in, you can see one cut line here. It is visible. So I don't want that. So without feather, it will do this. So Control J, J, Control J. So I have selection. Select, modify, feather. Maybe 2 to 3 pixel is good enough. 2 pixel. 2 pixel. You can see it become little rounded. Control J, B, and this time if I place it here, you can see there's no seam, nothing is visible because of course edges are blurred automatically. So so like this I can duplicate this and create this shape very easily and merge and modify that depth. That's done now. And now I'm going to match the perspective. So easiest way, like either I can click, drag this, or I can center, click and move it. So it will move the entire thing together like this. Matching the shape will become very easy. And but there is an issue. You can see in this particular image, there's a 2 point perspective. One is going this and another one is going this direction. So there's a 2 point perspective. So I have to match this thing with 2 point perspective, or I can keep this reduce the opacity slightly. Control T, edit, transform. You can see there's an option called named perspective. Click this. Now I can match the perspective very easily. Place it wherever I want. Control minus. And this you can see this line should go down. So I need to move it down and move this thing down like this. So it will give me that straight line feel. You can see these two are reducing together. And this particular line I can align with the window, so it will, because by that I can have this nice understanding. Okay, this perspective is matching. See, now it's almost matched with the window. So I have to match the perspective. Either I can do it manually or I can use the perspective and match it with this. And then my lasso tool, select this and mask it and invert the mask. Now one more thing, inside this also have to fill black. One more thing, I can see this corner, control D, fill it, control D. Now window, to center this thing I want to be part of my design. Same thing here. Looks like, see, it looks like part of this particular scene, but it's a flat surface. It's not part of those shadow and all. So what I can do, I can use multiply or overlay, or you can just to check all the this all of this blending mode. I like the multiply one is better. So for this kind of multiply, what happens? It basically takes the background color. So if I make it normal and put it down and change this into multiply, it will retain the color. It will retain the color, and this will be like 100% full solid and give me all these shadow. Anything in grayscale, you can change that layer into black and multiply, so it will retain all the color, all information, all shadow, and anything you add in the background, it will show that. So now I have this thing. I could have just simply duplicate this so that it could have used here. Anyways, I have duplicate that. This time, before duplicating, I have to make sure the count of the planks and should be equal, almost equal. You can see like it's still a bit uneven, but it will fit here easily because of perspective. So again, I can do the exact same thing. Arrow, fix it, transform, perspective. this number of plants have to match almost. You can see almost number of count matches with this. So align it nicely. Make sure it align with the ground. Enter. Now that's a tool. Mask. Invert. Then you can select all these in between areas. Corner. In between all these things are not required. So simply remove this, fix it. Similarly, you can see it becomes quite easy to add all these details. Now, let's see. For the styles, I can just simply fill one color. Like usually these styles are brown or reddish brown in color. So I can just simply select. I can, if I want, I can use a texture also for this. The entire selection. Shift, add selection. Done. Solid color. Reddish brownish. A bit saturated. Add all these colors. Okay. And like this, I can add all these colors. Now suppose I want to change the background, foreground. I can do those things very easily. So let's search for a sky, like anything. Like if you want to create a day scene, evening scene, so you can search for anything. Let's combine something, bit of a like evening sky. paste it, place it here, and I want only and only this house, this area, it should not affect. So I can mask it and invert it. So it will affect only the background. So you can see instantly this entire look and appearance of this house changed. Sorry. So if you want to modify this, you can remove this link, select the layer, V, and rotate and place wherever you want to place your sky, or you have to reduce the size. You can see this image is quite huge. Or you can just flip it. But you can see direction of the shadow, this direction, that means light is coming from this direction. So this is kind of fine. The redness, orange is way too much. So I can place it like this, and background I can add few trees or herb shrubs and maybe some cityscape, some background images and all. I can definitely add that and create the entire scene. Let's check. Maybe I could have used something like this, a little bit of this mountain range, or maybe something like this. I can do that. Then I can add a few trees and just to make my background look bit nice. So I can find tree PNG. PNGs are by default transparent back with transparent background. That means that white color you can see it's basically transparent. So PNGs you can save and use it. That will be like way easier to control your entire scene. Save as, and make sure check that save type is PNG. If it's PNG, then it's transparent. If it's not PNG, then that means it's not transparent. Save it. Very slow. Now, so now drag drop this image here, and you can see the tree. It's transparent. I can see through the background very easily without any problem. And mask. So I can mask this tree. Just alt drag drop on that, and you can fit this tree. So I can like modify my entire scene. I can create all sort of things very easily, add details. So maybe this ground, so I can search for a ground now. Like if this is one tree, I can add multiple trees. And plus in Photoshop you have a tree plugin, filter, render, you have a tree. You can create all kind of sort of trees. You can see oak tree, redwood. You have so many options. Suppose you want to create something specific. Uh, let's see, pine. They have it's a pine tree, bamboo tree. Let's create some bamboo, some random shape. Okay, let's see. Branch height. Okay, let's reduce it. Thickness. I can increase. Leaf size I can increase, leaves amount I can increase, direction of light I can change, like left to right. So I can modify things, height I can increase so it looks a bit natural. Increase the leaf size. If you create, but for this you have to create an empty layer. Otherwise, it will be pasted on your layer, like whichever layer you have selected, it will be pasted on that directly. So this is I can keep it on the top. Control T. See, I have a bamboo tree instantly, so I can create some nice effect. I can place it here. I can have a pot or some maybe some specific region where I want to grow bamboo or some other stuff. So you can do this thing very easily. So let's change the ground first. Mm, Garden. Let's check some home garden with some path or something. where I have a pavement kind of thing, so I can use that. And this is what we are doing, this kind of photo bashing. So we can we're combining multiple photos and then creating some scene out of it. So you can do that very easily. Let's see something. Okay, large is already selected. This is something I guess I can use. This looks way too like clean. Let's try this copy paste. It's huge. Control T, Control 0. So this is, suppose I want to use it from Control T, invert, and those entire house area. I want only delete the mask, delete L. I want only this ground to be exposed. So let's create a selection for this. You can see for this kind of stuff, lasso tool works really nicely. If you have something, oh, what is this? If you have something really curved and organic, that time you can use pen tool. You can create this entire thing together, and then you can cut out. Selection, Alt minus plus. Make sure our selection is like clean and perfect. Then mask it. You see, instantly I can modify things very easily.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So can you show it once again? My internet connection is not stable.
Okay. No problem. I'll show it once again. So I'll just delete the mask. Delete. So we have this. So I need to have the selection for this ground. So there are multiple ways. I can use lasso tool or I can use magic wand. You can see quick selection or object selection. So you can select this, will select this entire object. But this is again, it won't, I guess, work perfectly because it depends upon the color variation. So let's do with quick selection. Control D. It basically select that particular region. So in the dark area, so it's like selected the entire dark area. So I cannot use it. So let's use lasso tool. So let's create the selection quickly for the base. Like in between all these things, no need to worry. That is something I can add mask later. Then this is selected and click on the mask. It will create a mask for that selected region. Then I can minus all those areas. It's clear, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, like this particular plant, like it's in the foreground. So like it's in the foreground. So now I can take a brush and I can keep this entire thing because it's in the foreground. So I can keep it in the foreground and make it look like see it's like natural. It will cover some amount of the house. It is kind of okay. I can remove all those in between so that background is required. And I can mask it. You see, I'm painting black directly. All these white areas I have to remove. I'm using a soft brush. You can see now it's become foreground, and all this there's a cutout, right? So therefore to make it like nice, and it should not be cut out. So X, I'll paint few lines and make it uneven so that it looks like overgrown foliage, grass, or this flower, some random shapes. And I can keep this like plant also. Similarly, you can see, so it looks like it's growing from here. This one is the foreground, this is in background. So all those grass I can add here and make it uneven. And I can there's a lot of things still I have to do. Like I have to match the color because this tree, you can see lighting is from left side, but my main most of things are from left side. So I have to either flip it, match the lighting. That is something we have to keep in mind. In Photoshop, we're changing anything, so you have to match the lighting always. You have to cross check everything. Then color correct because this color, and this building color doesn't match. So it's part of one scene. So this you can see this entire scene is more of little bit of little yellowish and saturated. That means I have to increase the saturation of this or tone down this, any one of them, just to match it. So those color also have to keep in mind. Just save it. Oh, just save it. It'll take a few days. There's only 6 minutes. We'll do that quickly. Adya present. Then we have Rashish. Oh, huh. I guess Prithvi just sent me a file today. We'll talk about that as well.
Yes, sir.
Gokul present. Gokul present. Shubham present. Shyam Sundar not present. Robin Babu present. And just Prithviraj is not Prithviraj present, right? Okay. Prithviraj, Robin Babu, Gokul, Shubham, and Devashish, and other. So today, just open the file. Prathila sent me this file. Everything is fine except one major problem in the file. Tell you that I guess there's somebody got confused. This looks really nice, nicely done, very good, very good. This is something I really like, and this is something I really appreciate. There are like a few things I can see. There's some like crooked, like why this side is really nice. Why this side this bend happened, I don't know. But
Yes.
otherwise, it looks overall nice. Only problem is if I press, if I check the image size, Control Alt I shortcut, I can
Yes.
see resolution is 2048. You're not supposed to change resolution. Anything for digital media, like anything for digital platform, it should be 72, default 72. That's it. Nothing more than that, right?
Oh,
And what you're supposed to change, pixels, make this
pixel.
to pixels. This is you are supposed to change, like 2048 by 2048, right? So
Oh, yeah.
if you change right now, your file size is 1 GB,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right? If you change,
Yeah.
you can see if you change it, it will reduce your entire file size.
Okay.
Resolution is basically a number of pixels per inch. So per inch you have 2048 pixel. So obviously it's going to be 1 GB, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's what
it's
I was
so
wondering. Why is it so like huge?
yeah.
That's
Like
not.
when I downloaded, I thought like, what is this 1 GB PSD? So I thought
Yes.
maybe you compiled like till date, you whatever you have created, you compiled in one PSD and send that. Then I opened it and I saw okay, there's okay, this is just one file and looks nice, but what is wrong with this?
Yes.
So then Z 100%. You can see 100% is this big. It's still
Yes.
quite big, right? So this is your 100%, 62% point 62.6% maximum screen size. So this is still quite big and quite good quality. So
Yes.
previously it was really huge, like way too like beyond our beyond limits, like way too big. So that is
Yes.
something please keep in mind. So this quality overall I checked. Only thing I'll recommend, name your layers. That will be easy to understand, like which
Okay.
shape where, or you can just folder it like for this like here, this lid.
Yes.
You can just simply select this entire lid part together, Control G, and name it lid. So like that, you have a folder, so it will be easy to understand for you or for me as well, right? So that is
Yes.
something you can do. Otherwise, it looks really nice, nicely done, quite
Yes.
clean, crisp lines. Like
Yes.
though this thickness can be a little bit sharp. Otherwise, it looks really nice.
Okay.
Overall, quite nice.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I
welcome.
will try to change it, sir, because I mean,
Yeah.
the resolution.
Yeah. So for this, like whenever you combine multiple photos, so we have to adjust the color, match the color tone, direction of the light. We have to make sure direction of the light is same from all direction. And in this particular image, you can see direction is coming from this direction. Plus, we have another shadow here from this direction. You see, there are two directions. So either we have to remove this or we have to remove this, any one of them. But this entire environment looks nice with this lighting because this is bright, this is darker. Looks nice. That goes well with our entire scene. So I'll remove this. So I'll modify this entire thing. I'll show you the entire like processing how to do this. There's only 1 minute left. So I'll create all this small detail, this thing, and clean out all these white parts. And this is there's a cutout. It should not be cut out. It should be look like part of this ground only. So I'll create all those things. I'll continue this tomorrow and add dirt, make it like an old house, like a weathered, nice like 2, 4, 5 years old house like that. I'll use some dirt and all those things and add reflections and everything. So I'll create this entire scene. I'll show you how to do this. So this will help you in like texturing in future. So yeah, and make